What is physical science? If you studied Exploring Creation with General Science 3rd edition last year, you got a taste for all the different branches of science. Natural science is generally divided into 3 categories: life science, physical science, and earth and space science. Each of these 3 branches of science can be further subdivided into more specialized topics. Figure 1.4. This is a nice way of dividing science into groups. However, it really isn't as simple as this. You see, there is often a great deal of overlap between these subdivisions. For instance, biology, the study of living things, incorporates botany, zoology, ecology, oceanography, chemistry, and even some physics. So the boundaries separating each science is often not always very clear. So what is physical science? Physical science deals with the study of non-living things. In this course, we will be discussing 2 of the 3 main areas, chemistry and physics. Chemistry is the study of matter, its composition, structure, properties, and interactions or reactions. Physics is the study of matter and energy and how they interact through forces and motion. We'll then use the information we learn in our study of physical science to briefly study the Earth, Earth science. Since so much of what you'll study in other science courses depends on an understanding of matter and energy, physical science is a good background course for all further science courses. There is one thing that is important to keep in mind. Remember that science is both a process and a body of knowledge. The information you will read in this text represents the best, most up-to-date scientific knowledge and models we have of how God created the universe to work. But like all scientific knowledge, it can be rejected or replaced in the future as new information becomes available with better technologies. So as you read, think, and ask questions, be aware that the scientific facts today may change tomorrow. The scientific process, though, is the best process we have to make new scientific discoveries, so you'll want to practice it as you study this year. Just think, you may be the one who makes a discovery that will change what we know about how creation works in the future. Before reading about the scientific process, complete on your own questions 1.1 through 1.3. On your own. 1.1. What is science? 1.2. How are science and technology related? 1.3. What is physical science, and why is it an important course? The scientific process. In the last section, I mentioned that the scientific process is the best method we have for making new scientific discoveries. So in this section, we will review that process. You have probably heard of this process referred to as the scientific method. The scientific method is a systematic process that scientists use to help them solve problems, answer questions, or better understand observed events. Figure 1.5 outlines the steps to the scientific method as described in this section. Keep in mind that scientific methods can vary depending on what is being studied. The steps shown in Figure 1.5 are important, and the skills required for each step should be practiced as you work through this course. However, sometimes in everyday science, the steps may be completed in a different order, or the specific steps may not be as clear as shown. But one activity always occurs: making observations.